Hello and welcome to Arkiteasy. In this tutorial, you're going to learn how you can export this Revit model of this modern kitchen, then how you can import this model in 3D Studio Max, and how you can, without any additional modeling, create this fantastic render. In that purpose, we are going to use Corona Render, and we're also going to guide you with how you can set up the light, how you can assign and set up materials, and how you can, at the end, even if you're a beginner, create this fantastic image. Corona Render gives a trial of 45 days, and if you would like to download it and to try it, you can do that, and we place the link in a video description. If you are not expert of 3D Studio Max, I would recommend you to add materials firstly in Revit. So you don't need to care about adding the physical aspects to the material, so it's just important to make the difference between of them so 3D Max can easily understand them. So firstly, I'm going to add materials, the same one for the chairs and for the table. And in that purpose, I'm going to create a new material, which is going to be named as Arkiteasy Orange. And then I'm going to start adding materials to our kitchen elements. So go to edit type and then just start adding them or creating them. And you can also copy materials, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. And you see that this one is not reacting, so let's just open the family. Okay, we didn't assign the parameter here, and we need to fix this one also. And we need to add material to the lamp as well. So for a bulb, I will just create some material. And the sink is the last one. This really doesn't matter. I'm just going to add two different materials. So that's the main thing. So now we are ready to export our Revit file. But before we do that, okay, the ceiling is off. We don't need it. And I will just unhide the geometries I made hidden, because you need to be aware what's visible in your 3D view, bearing in mind that what is visible, that is going to be exported into 3D Studio Max. Save the project. And now we can go to File, Export, and we can export as FBX. You can also link it, but I'm using Revit 2022, so that's why I'm going to use the FBX. Actually, sorry, I'm using 3D Studio Max 2022 and Revit 2024. And let's open 3D Studio Max. Okay, in 3D Studio, firstly we need to import our FBX file. And I will delete this camera and this lighting system. So in a render setup, F10 is a shortcut. I will, for the render, pick Corona, and then I will just make our output size to be squared one, and let's create a camera. So just click C on keyboard and the camera is going to appear, and then I can make the camera to be on, let's say, 120. Shift F in this window, so it's going to match. We can level up this as well. Alt W is to make the size of one window bigger. And let's just select the camera and make the focal width of, let's say, 30 millimeters. This seems fine. Okay, so the next thing before we start with everything is that we need to convert Revit materials to Corona materials. And then I'm also going to click number 8 on a keyboard. So I'm going to, instead of this physical map, I will add this Corona sky. And here, or shortcut M on a keyboard, you will open material editor. So I'm going to drag this with an instance and let's keep it like this. And now I'm just going to start to add our materials. So let's just start from these cabinets, for example, this white one. So, okay, you see we have this, and let me just move this to the other side. Corona has its own materials as well as this Cosmos browser. For now, I will just start with the Corona material library. It comes with the Corona installation. And then I will go to, let's say, plastic. And I can just try this white one. So it's everything on one screen. I can just select all of them and I can add this PVC. I will delete this one. And let's just take this. So I will make it like this. Let's just move this here. And I will make this 3D Studio to look smaller. So there is one cool thing in 3D Studio Max, and that's the possibility to pick the color from the picture outside of 3D Studio Max. So I will, in this case, duplicate this one. So I can just move this one there and then hold Shift and just drag. So you're gonna duplicate it. Click this here and then picker, and let's pick color. Let's see. And then I'm just going to drag this to number 1. And I can do the same. I can take the same material, or maybe not. Okay, let's just add, in this case, let's add the metal. So I can open Corona materials, we'll go to the metals, and I can take this, let's say, brass satin. So here I'm going to pick a different color, and it's going to be this dark gray. And let's just add this to number 2. So our handles, you see how they're changing. And okay, let's just start picking. So I'm going to pick this one, right click and then select children. And in this case, let me see, what do we have? So we have black, so it's black is number 1. And then we can put the white on a neutral one, it's on a number 2. And we have this green, we have this green here, and it goes, yes, we can now delete those Autodesk materials. And if you would like to know what is what, you can just select this one and you can set this is a 3 drawers. Then this one could be 1 door bottom cabinet. So you can easily navigate through your materials. And there is one more. I will click P, so I'm out of camera. P is a shortcut, and then okay, we have this one. So here I can just select this and edit. And then let's just pick the colors from the oven. So the oven has a steel and something black. So we have this black one. It's here. Goes to number 2. And what we can add, let's just try this aluminum for number 1. Sorry, I made a mistake here. So we have no metal. We have actually glass on our oven. So I'm going to go to glass, to materials, to Corona materials, and let's see. I can try with this smoked one. So this is going to the slot number 2 instead of metal. And here, instead of white, we have this one. White is number 2. Yes, so now it's fine. Just press C at the keyboard, and then we can do the same thing here. So I'm going to pick this. And also let's add some wood. Take this pine mate. And the green one, take from here. And okay, let's now repeat the same thing for the wall, but for the walls, I will firstly going to find the proper material. Let's try this one. And then I'm going to add it to our, actually I'm going to select all the walls. So I will select all the walls and also this floor, upper floor, and then I'm going to assign. So here I will add UV mapping, and let's just make it as a real size. And now let's just pick this wall here. So for a green, green is number 2. This is number 1, this white one. The green one is here. Let's just drag it. And we can also add here UV map, so it will be the box and the real world size. And okay, we also have to add this material to the lamp. So for a lamp, we have 2 elements. We have this black metal, and let's take the lamp here. So the black metal goes to slot number 1. This is lamp. And for the light, we can just go here and add Corona light material. So I will make it and place slot number 2. And let's fix the faucet. So, okay, number 1 is our faucet. Then number 2 is sink. And for a sink, I can again take some Corona materials. So let's just take some ceramics. Okay, maybe this one. Name this as a sink. And we just need to add material for the tables, chairs, and then the last one is a floor. So for a table and chair, I can just try, let's see. This seems fine to me, this one, even it's a plastic. So I will make the 3D Studio smaller again. So this color, I'm going to pick it, let's say something like this. This is okay. And I'm going to add this. And now let's just pick the floor. So right click, select 3, select all of them. Okay, we have some wood. Okay, let's find the proper wood. And let's see what do we have in the Corona materials. So for a flooring, maybe this one. Then for a white, I can just take it here. So the white is number 3. Number 4 could also be the white. And let's just take some tiles. Let's try this one. And add the UV map. So it's quite big. Let's make it a bit smaller. Okay. What I need to do here is to add edit poly. So let me see. This is number 4. Okay. So the tiles goes to the number 4, while this white one goes to number 1. And for a tiles, what we can do, you see that we have this kind of the bitmap here. So instead of this map, I will find our green color. So with the shift, I'm going to copy that one. And I'm just going to add it here. So let's see how it looks now. Actually, no, we can leave it like this, but let's just try this. Yes, I think this is better. So just save this. That's my recommendation before you start with the rendering. And yes, there is one thing we didn't add. So I will open this material editor and let's just take one more material from here. Then it's glass, that's glass. And I will take the clear glass here. And let's see. So we have 2 panels. I'm going to assign this one. And then we have those 4 mullions. So to the mullions, I can just assign this white PVC color. I will save this and I can just make a interactive render to see what we need to adjust. So, okay, this is not bright enough. I will open material editor and will here just increase the size of the Corona skies, actually the intensity. Let's make it number 2 or 2.25. And let's make it a bit hotter. Let's say something like 6. This is okay. And what we also need to do is just to increase the intensity of this bulb. So here is material, double click, and then let's place 5, 3. Okay, this looks well. And just before we hit the render button, let's just check one more time our render settings. So I will make the noise level, let's say 5%, and denoising to the high quality. We'll keep the rest the same. Save the file and just hit the render button. This will take a while depending on the power of your computer. So we are done with adjusting our Revit part, its materials and so on. But what we need to do is just to add something here. So we fill the scene. And there is one more thing I saw here. We just need to add UV mapping. So let's just make it. Okay, this needs to be smaller. Let's try something like this. This seems fine, but I think it needs to be even more smaller. So yeah, that's okay. And by the way, for example, I with attention didn't place the stove here. So if you go to the Cosmos browser, and then let's say I will just put the stove here. You can just find, I will just take, let's say, this one. And then I'm also going to find something. So let's see what could fit. I think this one will fit well. And we can also take this one. So now let's see. This is our stove. So I'm going to expand this and I'm going to place it. It's a quite bigger, so we can go just right click here and then make it to be 90% of its size. Or sorry, maybe this was, yeah. It should be 90% of its size, and then from here I can just rise it up. And then let's see what's this. Okay, this is this could be placed here. And then this will go at a table. And we can just isolate this so we can place it better. Go to camera view. Maybe more like this. And now save this, and we are ready to create a final render. And there is a very small thing. You see that we have some kind of the horizon here. So go to material editor, and then for Corona Sky just fake the horizontal blur just at 0.5, so it's going to be lost. And now just hit the render button, wait a couple of minutes, and that's it. I have to say now when we are rendering that this looks huge, so I don't like how it looked like. So I'm just going here and I'm going to go to scale and to make it to be 75% of its size. This is better. And let's render it. If you would like to get the project files as well as the longer video tutorials, you can do that on our platform at Mighty Networks, and I placed the link in the video description. Also, if you would like to know how you can create this kitchen in Revit, how you can model it, please take a look at this tutorial.